Hey, KU fans, welcome to a special, we'll call this the red carpet presentation tonight. We got three of the best shooters in Kansas basketball history, and we're going to prime you for what's coming up, the Rock Chalk Roundball Classics, Shooting for the Stars, three-point shootout. I guess it's designed to decide who is the best, and I know we got three guys here tonight that certainly would claim to be and would go up against anybody, anywhere, anytime. So let me introduce them real quick, and then we'll talk to Brian Haney before we get into some of the fun red carpet stuff we've got. On the right side of my screen, third overall on KU's all-time three-point list, Mr. Billy Thomas. Billy, say hello to your fans out there.
Hey, how we doing? How we doing, Jayhawk Nation? Pleasure being on. Extremely blessed to be a part of the best shooting guys that ever come through KU, man. It's a pleasure, and like I said, I'm sure he won't say it, but Mr. Terry Brown was a standard when I got to see him, man. And so, as always, brother, it's great to see you, Tyrell.
Well, he introduced the other two, so I'm out of here tonight. No,
there you go.
Hey,
tonight.
In the middle, we got Tyrell Reed, 12th all-time on the list. He's taken the place of Frank Mason, so he gets a little of that BIFM love tonight, right? A little extra juice behind in your corner. Tyrell, say hello to your fans and all these KU people watching out there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some love from Frank in order for me to have a chance with these guys. But no, happy to be here and, excited to support such a great cause. It's unfortunate we couldn't have the game this year, but I think it's great we're able to do this with all the great KU shooters, past and present.
And next to Tyrell, downtown Terry Brown. You heard Billy Thomas introduce him, and I'm sure, Terry, does people still call you that everywhere you go? Is that just a KU thing?
Well, right now it's pretty much my nickname. Started from KU, and pretty much some of the kids at my camp, they call me DTB. So I like that better.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm happy to take part in this this weekend to compete with some of the great shooters like Billy, Tyrell, and whoever else. So yeah, it's fun, and I look forward to seeing who win it. Hopefully it's me, but
Yeah, I think that's important, right, Brian? These guys, as we're sitting here talking right now, they're waiting like the rest of Jayhawk fans everywhere. They do not know the outcome. They know how they did, but you're the only one, I think, that knows the total outcome, or maybe one of a few. I don't. So first off, Brian, just talk a little bit real quick about throwing this thing together. I think it's really important that people understand that in a pandemic, we all know what that's been like. For Brian to be able to pull this off and his staff and the Rock Chalk Roundball crew, I mean, this happens every year at KU. This would have been a real easy year for them to say, we just can't do it. The pandemic, we can't have the game. We'll double down next year. But Brian, always striving for more, decided, hey, we've got to do something. And he pulled this thing together. How'd you do it, Brian? And what a treat this is to have, 10 of the best shooters in the history of the school. That's pretty awesome.
This has been a blast. As a KU fan, as a kid growing up watching downtown Terry Brown with that signature release, and then Billy Thomas was always my favorite in my high school years. This has been a treat for me just to be along for the ride. And thank you for saying that, Matt. I appreciate it. We got together as a board, and we had a Zoom call like this and said, realistically, what can we pull off? Because as much as the pandemic has forced a lot of charitable organizations to sit a year out or do something virtually that doesn't generate nearly as much fundraising, the war against cancer rages on for these kids. And just because folks maybe aren't contributing as much financially to various causes because we've all had a tightening of the financial belt doesn't mean we shouldn't try to still do something and give them an opportunity to be engaged and to feel the stories of these young men and women like Tinley and Eli and Sweet Easton. And then if you feel compelled to give, you give. But we're really, really excited about the way it came out, Matt. We went into 7 different states, relying on media friends of mine and yours in some cases, but also amateur photographers that came out with their iPhones and filmed this thing at various high school gyms all around the country. But 11 total participants, including Frank, who makes a cameo. He was unable to actually shoot because he's inside the bubble and a little bit busy right now with the Milwaukee Bucks playoff run. But 7 states, and as I mentioned, the age gap is significant. And Terry, I'm not outing you here as the 53-year-old, but to have 30 years of a gap between 23-year-old Fiatuslav Makai and 53-year-old downtown Terry Brown. That just goes to show you, how many greats we've had all time and how rare a collection of talent like this is. It's never been done before, Matt, and it'll never be done again. I feel really lucky that all 10 said yes, and that really speaks to the great basketball ambassadors we have in our alumni base. Every last one of them wanted to take part in this thing this year.
Yeah, it's great stuff, and it, it doesn't happen everywhere. There's no doubt about that. Let's talk a little bit about the nerves. We started this thing off with red carpet, right, at the Oscars, the big night. I know those guys walking in, those movie stars, those famous celebrities walk in with some nerves. Am I going to win? How did you guys feel? It was empty gym for the most part, right? Did you guys have any nerves? Or this is a big deal. I mean, I know every one of you wants to win it. So, Billy, start us off. You're at the top of the list there of this trio anyway. So, were you nervous?
Absolutely. We all want to represent ourselves well. We want to represent the group well. And for a lot of us, older guys, we don't play anymore. We don't do a whole lot of different stuff, but it speaks to how blessed and fortunate we were as athletes and players to still be able to do a little bit, still to be able to do ourselves proud. And, hopefully I did that. But I definitely was a little bit nervous, just kind of, not wanting to embarrass myself.
Yeah, nice. Tyrell, nerves?
Well, I was at the gym when Billy shot, so I can tell you he can still shoot the rock a little bit. So
there you go. Yeah.
There was no nerves there from him. Maybe a little bit, but it's for such a great cause, and I think as any shooter will tell you, as soon as you get a ball in your hands, it kind of just it's old hat, and you go back to the routines and shooting the ball the same way you always have. So. Not really too nervous. It was fun actually being in the same gym as Sharon and BT for when I got to shoot. So I was just trying to keep up with those guys.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, you guys are all, clutch shooters and do it in the heat of the moment and hand in your face. Sometimes two guys running at you. It's different when you're open. You can be too open, can't you? I mean, was that a different thing when you're just shooting against nothing, Terry?
Well, not really. I mean, you're kind of nervous until you take the first shot, then your nerves kind of go away. You kind of resort back to what you know best and how to shoot, technique, this and that. So you kind of like great shooters always kind of correct their shot. Every time they shoot, they miss. They kind of figure out what's wrong or whatnot. I still kind of shoot around with some of my kids here and there. But, that day I was kind of nervous a little bit. Again, when I knocked one down, it kind of just went away. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know Brian's going to be pumping this all night. So those of you watching, if you want to donate, you want to get involved, it's Rock Chalk Roundball Classic. You can go .com. You can go to their site and get involved in a lot of things. One thing you can get involved in is bidding on a 30-minute Zoom call with some of the greatest KU players as well. One of them, we already heard a story about, but I want you guys to hear it. Terry Brown has the record for 11 three-pointers in a single game. He told us before we started hitting record here tonight that it should have been 12. Take us through that story, Terry.
Well, again, got to throw one of my players under the bus, Alonzo Jameson. I made a three on top of the key. He said a moving pick, so the ref took it away, so I was kind of upset with him about that. But I would have ended up 12 out of 17 that game. But I was kind of hot that game because the whole week my teammates were kind of bugging me, teasing me that this one player was a better shooter than me. So I kind of set out that night to prove a point who was the best shooter. So I think I kind of proved that point. So
you got to shoot 17, bro.
It's on fire.
So the way we bring Zoe back into this deal is he is one of the 10 Jayhawks you can bid on for a 30-minute Zoom call. Is that right, Brian?
That's right.
So you have a theory on this, right, about that
I think this is him, almost 30 years later, paying back the karma of costing Terry Brown an extra three.
Extra three.
Pointed out, the cost of one three-pointer in 1991 is a 30-minute Zoom call in 2020 that hopefully raises $500 or $600. But you know what? Tyrell Reed has agreed to do one of those Zoom calls. I think we got to put Terry and Billy on the spot right here, right now. Would you guys be willing to donate 30 minutes as well? Can we add you to the list?
Add me to the list, brother.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let me tell you who else is doing it. We got Nick Collison. We have Dave Robish. How about this? The 1986 Final Four team that many people feel is the most talented team ever this side of 97. And, Billy, you can debate what you think about that. But we've got almost the entire team. Calvin Thompson has orchestrated this with Ron Kellogg, Greg Dreiling, Mark Turgeon, now the head coach at Maryland. The list goes on and on. Archie Marshall. They're going to all be in on this call. Milt Newton, who, by the way, is the point percentage leader. They're going to all be on a collective Zoom. So look at the list. Cole Aldrich is on the list. We got a bunch of Jayhawk greats. But one thing about Roundball, we always have the fan engagement aspect, whether it's at the Friday night dinner or autographs after our Thursday game. In this time of a global pandemic, our face-to-face fan engagement came in the form of these Zoom calls. So add 2 more to the list, BT for 3 and downtown Terry Brown. Bid on those at rockchalkroundballclassic.com.
That's great stuff, and we're running out of time. We got to get to the shots. We got to get to the competition. But before we do go, I want to see if each of these guys will give us maybe their most memorable 3 they made in their Kansas career. Is that even a fair question? Can we do that? I mean, is that too much? We didn't warn you, but there's got to be one, right? So whoever has it, jump in.
Well, I think for me, I don't know exactly who we were playing, but I had Adonis Jordan made the pass to me. I was like on the left side, and I was kind of falling out of bounds, and I just threw it up and it went in for a 3-pointer. So that was one of them. So
yeah, not the most technically sound, but 3 points on the board, right?
Yeah.
Get it done.
Billy T, Tyrell, you guys had a minute to think there. The veteran time.
You know, 2 always come to mind for me, and I'll be quick about them. We were down 15 against UCLA. Jock Vaughn comes down, penetrates the bench, kicked it to me in the corner. I make the shot. Place goes crazy, and we never relinquished the lead after that. On a comeback, and then the one I made to break the record, and my mom was in attendance. So those 2 come to mind for me.
Yeah, those are great for sure. Tyrell?
I would probably have to say probably the shot I hit against Missouri to kind of close out the game my senior year. You know, playing at Mizzou, that was something we definitely didn't want to take lightly, and we didn't want to lose when we were over there. So it wasn't to win the game by any means, but I think it put it out of reach with about 45 seconds or a minute left, and that was probably my biggest one.
Yeah, those are great. Well, terrific stuff. We'll see if any of these shots tonight in your 25 or 35, if you guys advanced, if any of those will live up in KU lore like those shots you just talked about. So I know at KUsports.com we're thrilled to have this on our site and be a part of it and to promote this event. Brian Haney and his crew, they do such a fantastic job every year. It just keeps getting bigger. And again, in this pandemic, to be able to throw something together that people are excited about, and competition is back and the balls are bouncing. This is phenomenal stuff. So we're thrilled to have it here at KUsports.com. And obviously we wish you guys luck and look forward to future endeavors. Brian, you want to close it down for us here?
I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you for being our online streaming platform. We're so grateful for this partnership with KUsports.com. I just want to also thank Miles Schneer from Crown Toyota Volkswagen. They're our presenting sponsor. We've been able to gather some sponsorship dollars by selling commercials for the broadcast, but thanks to their generosity, it'll be commercial-free for the next 47 minutes here on KUsports.com. So check out those sponsors listed below. But that money we've raised so far is just a start. It's like a 3-pointer from Tyrell Reed at the 16-minute mark of the game. We want to push hard the entire rest of the way with online donations. You can text to give. You can go to the website, rockchalkroundballclassic.com. You're going to learn tonight and see the video stories about Easton and Tinley and Eli, and hear about a dozen more kids that Baby J's legacy of hope will benefit. So please, if you find it in your hearts, feel compelled to give, text in those donations. But more than anything, thanks for just being a Jayhawk that's fired up about this. We're proud to bring you some semblance of live action for a fan base that's been starved for it ever since March the 12th. So guys, thanks for being great ambassadors. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Now let's sit back and pop popcorn and see who wins this thing, all right?
All
right, brother. Hey, good to see you guys, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you too, Billy, Tyrell.
All right, brother.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Good luck.
Take care.
You're welcome. Thank you. See you later.
See ya.
All right, guys.
All right.
Shooting for the Stars coming up next right here on KUsports.com.
The Roundball Classic presents Shooting for the Stars, swishing threes for the big three. We're raising money for 3 local kids fighting cancer by bringing you a collection of the greatest three-point shooters in KU history, all shooting remotely from around the country. We've got Boshi, Devonte, Svi, Sharon, and Kirk, just to name a few, and it's all brought to you by Crown.
Good evening and welcome into Roundball Classic, Shooting for the Stars, swishing threes for the big three. I'm Brian Haney alongside Greg Gurley. Thanks for being with us tonight. It's all about raising money for local kids fighting cancer, and we've got a special KU three-point contest lined up. It's going to be an absolute blast as we go around the country into 7 different states with the top 10 shooters all time, age ranges of 30 years separating our youngest to oldest shooters. But Greg, as charitable pivots go in the time of this global pandemic, we're proud of what we've come up with. Tonight's going to be a ton of fun.
We should be proud. I mean, you guys pivoted, had a plan B, got the top 10 best shooters of all time. Post 86, 87 when the three-point line came in. But, you know, a Bud Stallworth might want to be in this, but the rule wasn't there. So going to be a lot of fun to see these guys shoot. We're
going to take them in order tonight, 10 through 1. The top half will advance to the finals. But the third member of our broadcast team is Kevin Romery, and he'll be having interviews, both pre-shot and post-shot, with all of our guys tonight, including number 10 on the list, the author of the biggest shot in school history, Mario Chalmers.
Hey, thanks guys. Just a reminder, that's all of our interviews brought to you in part by Johnny's Tavern with 11 great locations from Kansas City to Topeka. Mario, appreciate the time. Thanks for taking part in our contest, and let's just get right to it. You just wrapped up a season overseas in Greece.
Won the Greek Cup, and then we was on the Final 8 for the Champions League, and then we still had probably 7-8 games left in the Greek League. And we was number 2 team in the Greek League and number 1 team in the Champions League. So we were doing pretty good before COVID hit in March. We was on our way.
As for today's contest, Mario, right now you are in South Carolina. They're shooting at Julian Wright's academy, right?
Definitely. I'm proud of Juju. You know, he's worked hard on his gym. He's put a lot of time and effort into it. And it's good to see a fellow friend have his dream come true. And I'm proud of him for this.
And Mario, of course, a big shout out to the Dobsky family here in Lawrence. The Dobskys and our local McDonald's also making a donation for every shot that you happen to make today.
They're just being very generous, donating $100 for every shot that I make, donating to 3 Little Miracles, the little guys that's fighting for their lives every day, and then for my foundation, the Mario V. Chalmers Foundation. So it's for a great cause, and I really appreciate them.
Time now to check in with another favorite Jayhawk. How about Julian Wright, who can now be found down in South Carolina running his own program.
Hey Jayhawk fans, it's Julian Wright. Welcome to the Charlotte area. We're right outside of Charlotte in Fort Mill, South Carolina. You're at a DAP basketball training facility.
So off to Fort Mill, South Carolina we go, just outside the Charlotte area, and here he is, Mario Chalmers, number 7 in career three-point percentage at 42%. He's got an NCAA title, 2 NBA titles. Can he now win shooting for the Stars? A great shooter, Greg, but that's not all he did in his Kansas career.
Oh, he did everything. He was a great defender, a great shooter, not the best shooter we've seen, but he made the big shots when he needed to make them.
And a great philanthropist now. He's raising money for the Roundball kids, but also for the Mario V. Chalmers Foundation, thanks to the Dobskys of Lawrence and McDonald's of Lawrence. You can see the shot tracker there, already 8 shots made, now $900 in the bank, going to those 2 separate charities. He's the only shooter that has his own unique sponsor, but that's how special he is as the author of the biggest shot in Kansas history. Off to a good start, 12 balls down through the first 3 racks.
Yeah, you know, he's consistent. You know, we're going to see that throughout all 10 shooters. Watch the release point. It's always the same every single time he holds that follow through. And again, one of the, as doesn't even need to be said, one of the best shooters of all time in the history of Kansas basketball.
Is he wearing down though? Is he getting tired? He's hit a bit of a rut here. 3 balls to go. He's currently at 14. Can he finish strong?
And when you get tired, start to leave him a little bit short.
Can he get 16? Yes, he can. So that's $1,600 to the Mario V. Chalmers Foundation and to the Roundball Classic kids, courtesy of McDonald's locally. There's the ball breakdown on the racks for Super Mario Chalmers. 16 is the current high water mark, 1 shooter in.
Number 9 all-time is Frank Mason, 185 threes. He won the Wooden Award, the Naismith, and the Cousy, but he won't win Shooting for the Stars tonight. Greg, a little busy inside the bubble.
Yeah, Frank with arguably the best team in the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the best player in the Greek Freak, so he's trying to win an NBA championship, so we'll give him a break.
But he does have a cameo appearance. Frank?
Jayhawk Nation, what's up? It's Frank Mason. I'm here to say that due to me being here in Orlando, Florida, during the NBA playoffs, I'm unable to make this event. I wish I could be there, but I'll pick Tyrell Reed, who's 12th in all-time three-point made, to shoot in my place. It'll be greatly appreciated if you guys could come out to support this great cause and great event for these 3 amazing kids. Rock Chalk. I look forward to hearing about a great time. Miss you.
So Frank has tagged in Tyrell Reed, 12th all-time, also the winningest Jayhawk of all time, but can he win this hardware tonight?
Smart move by Frank to bring Tyrell in to shoot for him. Number 12, just outside of the top 10, in-state kid. Going to be a lot of fun to watch Tyrell shoot again.
Let's head to Hy-Vee Arena in Kansas City. So here goes Tyrell Reed from the corner. Ironically, the spot where he hit some daggers in his KU career.
Well, he was deadly all over the line, but the corner is where Bill likes to have his guys fade to the corner a little bit, and he was deadly.
Off to a hot start is Tyrell Reed, who still looks like he's in great game shape 8 years later. The pride of Burlington, Kansas. 176 threes for 12th all time. That's 3 back of Adonis Jordan, who's 11th. Adonis now living in Australia. Good start here for Tyrell. He's going strong from Hy-Vee Arena.
You know, Tyrell was just a high school phenom out of Burlington, and a kid that you kept hearing about. That when he finally got here, man, was he fun to watch. And like you said, Brian, the winningest Jayhawk of all time.
That's right. And the brother-in-law of an all-pro NFL special teamer, Darryl Stuckey, who I know is cheering him on here tonight. Reed trying to finish strong from the right wing right now. He's caught some rhythm, Greg. I see him heating up here. He might have a chance to make it into the finals in the upper half.
Well, he played with so many good players like most guys did in the last 17 years, and you know, he got a lot of open looks, and he took full advantage.
That's Woody Carter, his rebounder. He helps run the Hy-Vee Arena, of course, the former Kemper Arena that you played in way back in the day. Some misses down the stretch. Can he finish with a make to get to 18? Yes, he can. And he is the new leader in the clubhouse. 18, our new top scorer.
Not surprising. Not surprising at all. Tyrell can really stroke it.
Our Kevin Romery standing by with Tyrell Reed.
When it comes to a 4-year career at the University of Kansas, your 4 years, pretty good. You joined that program at a pretty good time, didn't you?
I did. I was blessed to be there for 4 years. You know, I just played with a great group of guys. You know, I was lucky enough to be teammates with tons of NBA players and tons of lifelong friends, so just very, very blessed.
Coming out of Burlington for you, once you got that KU offer, was there any doubt? Was it KU the whole way, or was there some other place that you thought you might want to go before picking KU?
It was, I mean, I wanted to go to KU, but they were definitely one of the last ones to show a lot of interest. I actually was either going to go to North Carolina or probably Stanford. Those were my last two. And then right at the end, KU came in and said they had a scholarship, and that was a pretty easy choice for me.
And the whole country covered, East Coast, West Coast, and then ended up settling right in your home in the middle. And if people see you around town in Lawrence, that's you, right? You're still in town. Catch us up. What are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm still in town. I moved back after finishing at KU Med here in Kansas City. I'm a physical therapist, so I work at Ortho Kansas, and I work part-time at KU, so I get to be back with the athletes, helping them out now that they're injured. I used to be injured, so I get to help out on the other side.
Great stuff from Tyrell Reed. We head out to our first break with a message from the Hall of Famer. Here's head coach Bill Self.
Hey Jayhawk fans, thanks for tuning in tonight to Shooting for the Stars. I'm excited to see which young Jayhawk comes out on top, hopefully a Coach Self, Coach Jayhawk. But the real stars tonight are our 3 beneficiary children that are battling this dreadful disease. I hope you'll join with us and donate to their cause to fight off and win this battle. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for your support always, and rock chalk. Take care.
Hey everyone, Gary Woodland here. Just want to send a shout out saying I wish we were doing this in person. Roundball Classic is always a highlight of the year. But if we could all take a second and donate and give back to the true stars, Easton, Eli, Tinley, in their fight with cancer. Our love, our support is with you. Hope everyone stays safe and has a great night. Thank you.
Hey Jayhawk fans, this is Nick Collison. I know either Kirk or Jeff's going to win this thing, but I'm going to take the easy way out and not pick one of my former teammates over the other. I do know that I support Roundball's Big Three. These three courageous kids need our support. Join me in donating and supporting these three kids tonight.
Welcome back to Shooting for the Stars. Did you know we have an online auction? Check out the link below, including this signed basketball by Gooden, Collison, and Heinrich. Up next on our list, number 8 all-time, Downtown Terry Brown, a guy you were brought in to replace back in '91.
I didn't do a very good job of that. 200 threes, though, in 2 years. Can only imagine if he was a 4-year player.
Let's catch up with Terry. Here's Kevin Romery.
Talk about some of your great games, because you did have some dynamite ones. That NC State game, that's a record you still hold. 11 made three-pointers in a game, still the best that's ever happened at KU.
Yeah, that was I still remember some of my teammates throughout the week. They just kept bugging me like, this guy's a better shooter than you. So that kind of got under my skin. So I wanted to set out that night and prove to my teammates that I was a better shooter. So luckily, I knocked down like 11, 7 3-pointers. Actually, I had 12, but my teammates set a moving pick on top of the key, and they took that away from me.
You mentioned teammate. Do we want to say that name of that teammate?
Yeah, well.
Let's not throw anybody
I don't want to throw him under the bus.
All right, let's head to Minnetonka, Minnesota for Downtown Terry Brown. He is the oldest participant in this year's contest, 53 years old, exactly 30 years older than Fiatuslav Makai, who just celebrated the Big 2-3 earlier this summer. There's that signature release, Greg. Break it down.
Well, it showed you that it doesn't really matter how you get to your release point as long as your release point is the same every time. We've seen guys like Jamal Wilkes and others that have odd setups, and Terry's no different, but man, was he deadly from beyond the arc. 200 threes in 2 years, and just an unbelievable long-range shooter for Kansas.
Got off to a slow start, but he's picking up the pace now. He hit 111 his senior year, and that record stood for almost 3 decades until Svi broke it in 2018. He once hit 11 in a single game versus NC State.
I was there for that game as a recruit back in the early 90s, and they had Rodney Monroe and Chris Corciani, and it was unbelievable. Rodney Monroe was an unbelievable shooter in his own way, but Terry Brown, 11 threes in one game is just crazy.
Going at a little bit slower of a pace here is Downtown Terry Brown.
Well, give him a break. He's 53.
I just love it that he's out here competing with the young bucks that are still in the NBA. Off to the left wing we go now. Did he have a favorite spot on the floor back then?
No, it did not matter. The old saying, if it felt like leather, it was going up, and he was not shy. And you talk about the ultimate green light, because when you're a guy that can make 11 threes in a game, you're going to give him the freedom to shoot it whenever he touches it.
One more rack to go. He's currently at 8. Our current leader is Tyrell Reed with 18. He's going to have to pick up the pace here. There's a good start. Up to 9. We'll see how Downtown Terry Brown, one of the best nicknames in Kansas history, can finish here from Minnetonka, Minnesota. 1 ball left. Can he finish with a make? You bet he can. There's Terry Brown. He will finish at 12 as our 3rd shooter of the night. Up next, number 7, Brandon Rush, a Kansas City kid who won a national championship, and he's in the top 10 as well in just 3 seasons.
Yeah, another all-around player like Mario Chalmers, probably one of the best defenders Bill Self has had as well.
Let's check in with Brandon Rush and Kevin Romery.
Quickly, get us a catch-up on what you've been doing the past year. Understand you've been playing overseas in Greece.
Yeah, I'm heading back to Greece. I was over with a team called Larissa. It's probably like 2 hours away from a big city over there called Thessaloniki. And it's this basketball village city, as we would say over here. But it's been a great time, a great experience for me and my family.
During your time here at the University of Kansas, you hit many big shots, but if you had to narrow it down to just one, what was maybe your favorite three-pointer made at the University of Kansas?
I remember a certain three on the right side wing against Texas to help us get the lead to advance and end up winning that game.
Finally, Brandon, be honest. Can you win this thing?
I think I can win it. Yeah, I think I can win it. I just got back from shooting just a minute ago, so I'm pretty warmed up and ready to go.
From Minnesota, we head to Kansas City, Kansas. Our look at the map brought to you by the RMC Group, providing expert restoration and reconstruction services nationwide. And here he goes, number 7 all-time, but 3rd in career percentage, Greg, at 43.5%. He's only behind Milton Newton and Jeff Geldner.
Well, how about Brandon Rush from a famous Kansas City family of players between Jerron and Kareem, but just a perfect stroke, as you can see, release point, the exact same every time, and he's just a big shot guy like Mario Chalmers.
You got a couple of nice bounces to fall in for him there. The current leader is Tyrell Reed with 18. We'll see if Brandon Rush can put a scare into him. Rush, of course, has won an NBA title and an NCAA championship. Now can he win shooting for the Stars? 2 racks to go already at 11.
And if you want to get in the good graces of Bill Self, be a great shooter, but be a better defender, and that's exactly what Brandon Rush brought to the table.
How about that? He juggled on the catch, but still hit the 3. Sometimes that'll bite you if you get off your rhythm. But he's finishing with a flurry here, up to 14 with 1 rack to go. Can he match Tyrell Reed?
And he's not going to get tired. He's still playing professionally over in Greece, so he's still got his legs.
Here he comes. Down the stretch he goes. 1 more ball in the bank. It's on the way, and it is good. He looks at the scoreboard, and there it is, 17. It doesn't top Tyrell, but that may be good enough to make it to the finals.
Oh, for sure. And not a surprise at all, again, because he's in great shape because he's still playing.
There's a look at the updated leaderboard. Tyrell Reed still out in front, but Brandon Rush nipping at his heels. It's time for our first beneficiary spotlight, 4-year-old Easton Bass from Baldwin City. Let's take a look.
We have learned that she is awesome and really fights with kind of a constant smile on her face. Even like after the nurses and stuff would like give her shots or chemo, she would sign thank you to them. Even through long hospital stays, she's rocked it out and been a fighter.
She loves pirates, she loves swords. She's not really like too much of the girly stuff.
Her bow and arrow.
Yeah, she likes to use the bow and arrow, stuff like that.
Swim, she loves to swim. Being a part of Roundball will help in so many ways. The work we've had to miss, the extended hospital stays, the bills, the finances. Maybe we could buy her a play set or some toys for her pool, or just really, try to do something fun for her with it too.
Definitely humbles you when you see her going through it and she's still smiling.
No!
She makes you realize you can get through everyday troubles because she does what she does with a smile on her face.
Hey, what's up, Jayhawk fans? This is Todd Reesing here. I hope everybody's having a great summer. Now, they're lucky I didn't get an invite to come shoot because I was dropping absolute dimes last time I played in the Roundball Classic. Now, if you want to get out, support a great cause, click on that link below, support these kids, and come out and watch the Roundball Classic. Rock Chalk.
Hey, Jayhawk fans, it's Bud Stallworth. Please help these 3 kids. Thanks so much for your generosity. Thanks for watching Shooting for the Stars.
Hey Jayhawk fans, I'm really looking forward to watching the 3-point contest tonight and cheer on my former teammates. My money's on Tyrell, but the real winners are the 3 beneficiaries. Let's make sure we go out and donate a bunch of money to help these families out. I've donated a 30-minute Zoom call. Check out the link below and bid and bid and bid. Rock Chalk.
Love that Zoom call donation from Cole Aldrich. If you're not taking part in the auction, text 333 to the number at the bottom of your screen. You can donate that way. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Tyrell Reed out in front. The top half of our shooters advance to the finals. Up next, number 6 all-time, Sharon Collins, 232 career threes.
Just a gamer. It'll be fun to watch.
We head back to Hy-Vee Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. All right, Sharon is ready. Our number 5 all-time scorer in Kansas history, 1,888 points. Let's see if he's still got it as he opens up from the left corner. Already a couple of balls down.
Well, as I mentioned before, he's a gamer. I mean, when you needed a big shot, and that's the common theme with Brandon, with Mario, and others, they stepped up to make big shots.
Mars Blackman famously said it's all about the shoes. What do you think of Sharon's kicks here tonight?
It's kind of been a trend. You watch NBA now, and it used to be you always wore the shoes that match your team's colors. That doesn't happen anymore. Just the neon yellow there, a little highway worker yellow, I guess.
All right, he's up to the middle rack, 6 balls down, currently on pace for 15. I don't know if that would get him in the finals. Right now, the cut line could be around 17.
Big rack right here, straight on, where he used to operate a lot.
Of course, if this was a contest for slasher drivers finishing in traffic, he'd be one of the all-time best with Keith
There's
Langford.
4 out of 5, though.
He's picking it up to 10. Let's see if he can keep that pace. That could possibly put him in the mix. What do you make of his form, Greg?
Oh, it's same as it was 10 years ago. You know, good release point above his forehead, great follow through. Can't complain. Doesn't have the same lift, obviously, but none of us do.
Sharon had his son and his daughter cheering him on as we tape this from Hy-Vee Arena. Let's see if he can finish strong for Sharon the third. 4 balls to go for Sharon Collins as we head down the stretch of rack 5. Gets tiring once you're 23 balls deep.
Yeah, you got to use your legs. You see him digging down a little bit there, a little more arc on it. There you go, 3 out of 4.
Oh, a hitch in the giddy up. Will it affect him? Yes, comes up short. Solid round though, 2 thumbs up from Sharon Collins. Finishes with 15, straight on from the top was his best spot on the floor. Kevin Romery standing by.
You mentioned kind of the coaching bug. Is that something that you felt like you would want to do when your basketball days ended anyways?
Of
You
course.
kind of been working towards that for a while?
Yeah, for sure. Like now when I go home or I help out a lot. I think I'm drawing the kids and I think this is my passion. Soaking everything up from Coach Self and just being so close with him, I think that rubbed off on me. And
now you get to do this too. You're a dad.
Yeah, I'm a
It's
dad.
crazy,
and,
right? You're a dad. Life has
come here.
changed a little bit for Sharon Collins.
This is
Get him in
Sheree.
there. Get him in there.
This is Sheree and this is Sharon. We call them SJ. These are 2 of my 3. This is what life looks like for me right now. I'm with these kiddos all the time, and they supportive and happy for me, and she wants me to play as well.
Good
so.
deal. Well, hopefully they'll see some old Kansas basketball video of you back in the day.
Yeah, I show her a lot.
Appreciate the time, man.
No
Great
problem.
shooting. We'll catch up with you soon.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. We're up to number 5 on the all-time list. Kirk Heinrich, a guy that went to 2 Final Fours.
Well, we're kind of like a broken record. We say all-time great so many times, but Kirk, truly an all-time great. That's why he's in the rafters of Allen Fieldhouse.
Kevin Romery has our Johnny's Tavern pre-shot interview.
Hey, thanks, guys. Joining me now from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, former Kansas Jayhawk sharpshooter, it's Kirk Heinrich. And statistically speaking, Kirk still ranks number 5 on KU's all-time made 3-pointers list, but he fares better on the list of the Chicago Bulls, where Kirk still ranks number 1.
Well, it was kind of style of play. It's very honored to be up there in those names, but I was more of a 3-point shooter back in the day. They're more mid-range, inside guys. I'm sure the record will probably get beat with today's style of play, but I'm definitely honored to have it.
Kirk, you had 4 fantastic years at Kansas, a couple of Final Four trips in there as well. What do you miss most about the University of Kansas and maybe Lawrence?
Oh man, just the atmosphere, the camaraderie, the Kansas basketball family. It was something that once you go there and you experience it, they took me in as a young kid, and that's will always be a huge part of me, and I feel like I'm a part of the family.
All right, that's Kirk Heinrich, again, still ranked number 5 on the all-time made 3-pointers list at Kansas. Guys, back to you.
So we head to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the Sanford Pentagon for Kirk Heinrich. All right, Kirk is ready to go from Sioux Falls, still in great game shape, even at almost 40 years of age. How about the form?
Well, like we say with every one of these top 10 shooters, the release point is always the same and no different here with Kirk Heinrich.
Off to a good start, 3 balls down in the opening rack. As Kevin referenced, he holds the Bulls record for most career threes, 1,049 threes. That's nearly 300 more than the next Bull on the list, Ben Gordon. Can he get to 6 or 7 here through 2 racks? Knocks down a 7th, on pace to threaten Tyrell Reed.
Well, part of that great recruiting class with Nick Collison and Drew Gooden, and then an amazing NBA career, 10+ years.
Speaking of recruiting and Tyrell Reed, Reed famously wore a Heinrich Bulls jersey on a recruiting visit to another Big 12 school. Off to the 4th rack we go, Heinrich chasing Reed today, the guy who grew up idolizing Kirk. More shots coming here as he heads down the stretch. One thing that impressed me about Kirk, the day we went to tape in Sioux Falls, he was on the floor warming up 90 minutes before we got there. One more ball on rack number 4. And this one misses strong. He's at 13, our leader at 18. He'll have to run the table on the final rack.
Well, not surprising he was warming up before because these guys are all competitive.
Currently up to 16. I think 17 would get him in the finals. He misses there, so this last ball will be important. It's on the way, and it is good. Kirk Heinrich finishing with 17. That will pull him into a tie with Brandon Rush for second place. That total may be good enough to put Kirk in the finals. We're up to number 4 on our list, Fiatuslav Makai, the single-season record holder at 115.
Well, a guy that was unbelievable for us and a part of a tandem with Devonte Graham, and what more can you ask for out of a guy like Svi?
Let's head to the Detroit area, West Bloomfield to be exact, for Svi for 3. Great to see Svi rocking the Kansas gear now as a Detroit Piston. Of course, he opened as a Laker. Tell me about his release and his form that's made him so prolific.
Well, it's just perfect. He sets his feet before he receives the ball in a game. Obviously, Iraq's a little differently, but perfect release point. Feet are always set, and one of the best shooters in the history of Kansas basketball.
He opens 4 of 5. Let's see if he can keep that pace going and surpass Tyrell Reed. We referenced him breaking Terry Brown's single-season mark. That record had stood for 27 years, and the same year that he hit 115, Devonte hit 110. Best tandem ever.
Well, and then you throw Malik Newman in there, too.
What a triumvirate Kansas had back in 2018. All right, he cools off in the mid-rack, but this is the spot on the floor he hit the shot versus Duke. Let's see if he can heat up.
Yeah, the most famous shot he hit in his career. Now, the other famous shot was the 8 steps he took against K-State to beat our in-state rival, but fitting that a 3 was his best shot of his career.
And from that spot, he goes 4 of 5. He's in striking distance of becoming our new leader. Let's see if he can finish with a flurry right here. 3 balls down for Svi. He's got a chance to run the final rack. Can he get it done? He will. Fiatuslav Makai goes 9 of 10 down the stretch. We've got a new leader with 20 makes for Svi.
The least surprising thing we've seen so far is that Svi made 20 out of 25.
Johnny Kane catches up with Svi.
All right, Svi, how'd you do out there? I hope I did well, man. Make a couple shots. It's a lot of great shooting in this competition, but I feel like I did good and doing good about it.
Who do you think's your toughest competition out there?
All of them, man. Because some, like I said, there's a lot of great players. A lot of them hit a lot of big shots, and I feel like it's gonna be tough.
I know for some of the guys, they've been away from Lawrence for a few years more than you have. But what do you miss most about playing college ball?
Oh man, everything. Especially I don't feel how I was going there. Just being a part of a team, being a part of the program. If I could, I would do 4 more years again.
Thanks to Piston sideline reporter Johnny Kane for our Johnny's Tavern interview. A look at the leaders, a new man on top, Svi ahead of Tyrell by 2 as we head down to our final 3 shooters. Our next beneficiary is a 4-year-old from Oskaloosa. Let's hear the story of Tinley.
We are the Benesheks, and we live in Oskaloosa, Kansas.
Tinley, she is a very, very brave little girl.
Tinley was diagnosed with pre-B-cell ALL.
This has been a long journey for her, just dealing with different nurses and doctors and things like that. I've loved watching her blossom and start to be an advocate for herself.
He didn't think that courage and adversity could come in such small packages, but all in all, she has taken this journey like a champ.
Definitely a big animal lover. Right now she's learning about veterinarians because, she's learned so much about being at the hospital and how doctors take care of people. So now she's really interested in helping take care of animals. So we like all kinds of cats. Cheetahs, leopards, lions. Not wildcats, no. No wildcats.
Hey guys, it's Ben McLemore with the Houston Rockets and your former Jayhawker. I wish we all could be together this year for this Roundball Classic. Hope you guys enjoy this project that they set up for you guys and us. Hope you guys are staying safe. I urge you guys to make a donation to this Roundball Classic and this charity. Rock Chalk Jayhawk, go KU.
Yo, as a point guard at Kansas my freshman year, man, I had Drew Good and Nick Collison running the floor. And guess what? Got Kirk Heinrich on one wing, Jeff Boschee on the next. Didn't matter which direction I went, guaranteed 3 points. Now as a father of 4 boys, the Miles boys, I got 4 great options on my side now also. Right now I'm going to my guy Avion for that jumper. Knock that down, Avi. Hey, get up. Buckets.
Great to see Aaron Miles with one of his kids. Speaking of the kids, Baby J's legacy of hope helps Roundball bless numerous other kids beyond the big three. So when you give to us, you're supporting them as well. Now down to the final three, including Billy Thomas, a former KU record holder.
Yeah, needless to say, one of the best of all time. Great guy, great shooter. It's going to be fun to watch him shoot.
Let's head to Kansas City for BT for three. All right, Billy's ready. The pride of Shreveport, Louisiana. Here he goes, our second oldest participant. He's north of 40, but still has that great release, Greg.
Yeah, perfect release. So strong in the forearms and the wrist. And an interesting story about Billy. Roy Williams wasn't recruiting Billy. He was recruiting somebody else on his AAU team, saw this kid and signed him up.
And 269 threes later, I'd say he found himself a gem in the recruiting class. Who knows how many he would have hit had he not played on a team with Paul Pierce and Rafe LaFrentz and all these other guys.
Yeah, one of the greatest Kansas basketball teams of all time, Scott Pollard, Jock Vaughn, but Paul Pierce, and Billy says it. Yeah, I would have probably hit 300, 350 without Paul, but I think he was pretty happy that he was teammates with Paul Pierce.
No doubt, part of some of the greatest teams in KU basketball history. Gonna have to pick up the pace a little bit here. That one will get him to 10 at the midway point. That's middle of the pack territory. He's gonna need at least 17 to make the finals. Let's see if he can close strong.
Shooter's roll there.
He does indeed. Nice shooter's touch at Hy-Vee Arena, formerly Kemper Arena. And he is indeed picking up the consistency now. 3 out of 4 on rack number 4. Let's see if he can get the 5th. He will. So he heads to the final rack at 14. He can't catch Svi, but can he get to Tyrell at 18? It would take 4 for 5 on the final rack.
Well, as strong as he is, he can definitely get 4 out of 5. What has he got there? 2 out of 3. Needs to make 2 in a row.
Can he equal Tyrell Reed? He will. 18 for Billy Thomas. That should put him in the finals. Clearly, he's still got it on the other side of 40.
For sure he does. Again, I mentioned those strong wrists and forearms. Those don't go away. Your cardio might, but the arm strength doesn't.
Kevin Romery standing by with Billy Thomas.
Talk about the old days a little bit and some of those teams you were on, arguably some of the best teams in Kansas basketball history.
I mean, it just speaks to the value of having good teammates. And I tell people all the time, one of the greatest compliments that I can ever be paid was that I was a great teammate. But that can be said for everybody that I played with. And so being a part of something special is knowing that it's about our team, even though we had some extremely talented individuals. Being a part of the groups that I was a part of will forever be a part of me.
Great career at Kansas, and you played for what, roughly another 10 years professionally 11, after that, somewhere in there? Got to see a lot of the world too.
I did, and I never set out to be a big traveler, but as the time went on and I got a little older, I started to appreciate the wonderful things that were put in my life, centering around a game of basketball, getting to travel to places that I would have never gotten to travel to, and even playing at KU. Something as simple as going to Hawaii for a guy like myself coming from Shreveport, Louisiana, to get a chance to go to Hawaii 2 years in a row, to get to ride on the Concorde, go to France. This game has been, tremendous, to me, and so that's why an event like, what we're participating in, without hesitation, I'm readily able to be a part of it.
We're down to the final 2 in Shooting for the Stars, presented by Crown. Devonte Graham, maybe one of the most popular Jayhawks of all time.
No question about it. His personality, his athletic ability, and just his sheer ability to take over games brought us back in that West Virginia game, amongst others.
Let's head to Lawrence, Kansas for Devonte Graham. All right, Devonte is ready, shooting from Lawrence, Kansas, back in town, moving his sister in, who's now attending KU. She wants to be a broadcast journalist, Greg.
Oh, very cool. I'll get Devonte back in town a little more often.
He's now starring with the Charlotte Hornets. He should have been the NBA's most improved player this year. What a breakout sophomore campaign.
Yeah, and what a total snub by the NBA not putting him in there. But knowing Devonte like we do, he's a competitive dude, and that's going to drive him even harder to get better next year.
Competitive, he wants to beat Svi Mikhailuk. Those two actually tied in career three-point percentage. They had an identical mark of 40.9%. Best friends and tied dead even when it comes to efficiency. But can he top Svi's score of 20? He's picking it up from the top, going 4 of 5. But he's got some work to do.
He had some games this year, didn't he? I always check the Charlotte box score, even though they weren't in the bubble or a playoff team. But man, he had some big-time games and some big-time last-second shots to get Charlotte some wins this year.
When I think big-time last-second shots, I think of that spot on the floor, the left wing, and the comeback versus West Virginia. He's done well for himself, currently within striking distance of our top 5 to make it to the finals as he heads down the stretch with 2 balls to go. Devonte Graham, one of KU's biggest stars in the NBA. Can he get it at the horn? Yes, he will. Devonte with 18. That should be good enough to put him in the finals.
Yeah, and that's great because he's such a good guy, and it's still fresh in our minds from only being gone 3 years ago, but one of the good guys, you want to see him play well.
Kevin Romery catches up with that good guy.
Now, the phrase sophomore slump does not describe this guy at all. Devonte Graham, thanks for taking part, man, in the three-point shootout. Talk about your second season in the NBA. Very different than your first year experience, huh?
Totally different. Definitely a different role, you know, going from G League to back up to starting and playing a lot of minutes. It was fun. I definitely enjoyed it, and I'm excited to get back for my third year.
Your time at KU hit some big three-pointers. How does this compare, the three-point shootout, to what you do on a daily basis?
It's kind of normal. It was fun. I had a good time doing it. Hopefully, you know, I win. I gotta get the win. Came for the championship, so gotta get it.
Now the moment you've all been waiting for. We're down to number 1. Jeff Boschee. Can the King protect the throne? 338 career makes.
Kid out of North Dakota, McDonald's All-American. What else can you put in front of your name that's more impressive? The greatest three-point shooter in the history of Kansas basketball.
Kevin Romery caught up with Coach Boschee.
Hey, you had some great years, obviously, KU. Maybe talk about some of the things that stand out, maybe your top memory or two. And I know you had the great run to the Final Four, your final season. A lot of things to choose from, I'm sure.
You know, as a team aspect, I think just, you know, the way we made the jump from my junior year to senior year and be able to get over that hump from the loss of the Sweet 16 and then, you know, my senior year beating Illinois, who previously the year past beat us in the Sweet 16, and to move on to the Elite Eight and beat Oregon. And I'll never forget that feeling of winning that Elite Eight game in Madison and know we were going to the Final Four. That's you know, what we did that year was 16-0 in conference play. I believe still has never been done, and you know, that's as a team. I think by far that senior year was my greatest memory and things that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. I think the one thing individual I'll always remember is the last shot I made at Allen Fieldhouse on senior night against Kansas State, the three-pointer from about 35 feet. I remember Coach Neil Doherty telling me, hey, you're about to check out, so make sure you get a shot off. So I caught the ball from about 35 feet and chucked it up there and made it, and that was my last shot that I made at Allen Fieldhouse.
We head to Joplin, Missouri. All right, Coach Boschee is ready from his campus, Missouri Southern State University. I really like his future as a head coach. What about his future over the next 90 seconds? Boschee needs at least 17 to match Heinrich and Rush and punch his ticket for the finals. A solid start, 3 for 5.
Well, I don't know how you wouldn't pick Jeff Boschee. I mean, the greatest all-time three-point shooter in the history of Kansas basketball, 338. So my money would be on him, but we shall see.
I'll never forget the game winner he hit versus Colorado as a shaved head freshman way back in 1999. He goes to his favorite spot from straight on. I bet he heats up from here. Boschee was always so good from the top of the circle. 3 for his first 3. Finally a miss there, but can he make it 4 for 5? He will as he rattles it home. All right, Boschee will need 6 makes in the last 2 racks, Greg, to punch his ticket for the finals.
Again, I'd still bet on him, but he really does need to finish strong.
How about that, like a pitcher tossing back a baseball? He didn't like that one ball.
Yeah.
Gets one he likes, he drains it, and it goes 3 of 5 on that rack. Okay, he needs 3 in his last 5 shots to make the finals. Opens with a miss. Can King Boschee defend his crown? In and out, no good. Wow, he needs the last 2. He misses there, and the final shot won't matter. The King will be dethroned. Boschee finishes with 15, a big-time upset.
Not going to make the finals, but still the greatest three-point shooter in the history of Kansas basketball.
So who does make the finals? As we look at our leaderboards, Makai definitely in. Reed, Thomas, and Graham are all in. But that tie for 5th means we'll have 6 shooters in the finals. Rush and Heinrich are both coming back. When we return, they'll pick their favorite spots on the floor, and we'll determine who's the greatest shooter of all time. But first, our third beneficiary, here's Eli from Heston, Kansas.
I'm Eli Mason Bella, AJ, and I'm from Heston, Kansas. I like to play outside and ride my bike, go swimming in my pool. I want to be an NFL football player.
Who are you going to play for?
Chiefs.
So Eli was first diagnosed with leukemia in 2014 when he was only a year old. It was right before his second birthday. And he finished treatment for that, and then last April we found out that the cancer had come back. So our family's kind of been split up quite a bit over the last year, but he's very strong and he's very brave. He's just a tough kid. He's pretty amazing. We are so happy to be a part of the Roundball Classic this year. You know, I left my job I had for over 12 years to be his full-time caregiver, and it's crazy how much you have to end up spending, but yet you cut your income. So it's like, how do you make it work? You always wonder, how is it gonna work out? Just saying that we're thankful doesn't even seem, enough.
Hey Jayhawk fans, this is Jay Billis, and of all the three-point shooters I've seen in a Kansas uniform, I'd have to say that Jeff Boschee had the best stroke and made the most threes. But irrespective of who wins this thing, I hope you'll all support the three courageous young people that are fighting cancer. Enjoy the show and rock chalk.
Hey Jayhawk fans, Scott Pollard here. I can't believe we're deciding the greatest three-point shooter in KU history and the percentage leader wasn't invited to be a part of it. Come on, man. All right, fine. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Support the cause.
Welcome back to the finals of Shooting for the Stars, brought to you by Crown. You see the 6 names still alive in the order that they will shoot, but some of the names you don't see, no Boschee, no Chalmers. We were going to get to see a recreation of Super Mario's shot with Julian Wright filling in for Sharon, but no Mario in the finals. However, the 10 still alive will get 10 shots from their favorite spot on the floor, starting with Kirk Heinrich.
Finals for Shooting for the Stars, I'm picking the left wing. Just where I feel most comfortable. It's been my sweet spot for a long time, so we'll see how I do. Thanks.
All right, Heinrich is ready. Everything he gets in the finals will be added to his total of 17. Greg, what do you suppose is the number to shoot for? What's it going to take?
Well, this great group of shooters, I think it's got to be 10 out of 10.
What's the overall number, though? He's starting 3 back of Svi Mikhailuk.
Well, then he's going to have to make 10 out of 10 then. His overall number needs to be in the upper 20s. 27 is the highest he can get because Svi is going to make more than 7.
Heinrich right now, 7 out of 10. Can he get to 8 and a total of 25? One more ball to go. He got it. Very nicely done. 8 out of 10 for Kirk Heinrich. His score is 25. Next up, Brandon Rush in Kansas City.
I made it to the finals, and I picked the top of the key because it's one of the easiest shot in basketball and straight ahead. So let's get it.
From straight on, he says, Brandon Rush, after seeing Heinrich make 8 for a total of 25, let's see what he can do here in the finals. Again, Svi sitting at 20, clearly the favorite as we enter our final 4 shooters after Brandon. Solid effort thus far, Greg, but it's going to take a near-perfect rack.
And he's already had a couple misses, so I think it's going to be tough to catch Svi.
7 out of 10, that'll give him a final score of 24. Not bad, but not likely the winner. Next up, we go to the 18 shooters.
All right, I've got probably 3 good spots on the court, especially based upon the offense we ran. Our secondary break, I would set a back screen for our big guy. My guy would have to help. I pop out and shoot it. But over the years, some development and everything else, I think this right wing is my money spot. So let's see how it works.
Kirk Heinrich currently in the lead with 25. BT for 3, picking the wing, and off to a good start. You mentioned when he gets in a rhythm, he can be automatic.
Automatic. I mean, penetration by some of his teammates, pitched out to BT, and it was 90% of the time going to go in.
6 for 6 thus far, but he drops one there.
Ooh,
could that affect his rhythm? Oh, he missed.
Rhythm killer.
Back on track, though. Thomas trying to close it out strong with back-to-back makes. Did he get the final ball? No. He was perfect until the drop.
Tyrell Reed back for the finals.
I'm going to be shooting from the corner. I don't have many highlights, but I remember hitting a big one against Missouri.
So Billy with 26 is our current leader. Let's see if Tyrell can pass him up. Going back to the corner where he hits so many huge shots. Opens 0 for 2 though. Now he's picking it up. Tyrell Reed's going to have to go 8 for his final 8 to equal Billy Thomas. Do you think he can do it?
For sure he can do it. That's his spot.
And we mentioned in excellent shape, even 8 years removed from his career. He's picked it up. Down the stretch we come. Tyrell Reed trying to match Billy Thomas for leader in the clubhouse with 26. One more ball on the way. He hit it. Tyrell Reed, 8 for 8 after 2 misses. He ties Thomas at 26.
For the finals, I've chosen the left wing because in our historic comeback against West Virginia, this was my historic shot that I made.
All right, Devonte Graham also with 18, needs at least 8 to get ahead of Tyrell and Billy, hitting from the spot that he made famous versus West Virginia.
Yeah, this is the guy right here that Svi needs to worry about, his good buddy Devonte.
Catching fire is Graham. You can see the rhythm picking up. There it is. He knocks it down. A chance to pull in front if he hits this last ball, and he does. Devonte Graham with the fist pump, 9 out of 10. He's on top.
So for Sunday, I picked the right wing because that's where I hit the shot against Duke and tied the game going to overtime and then win a 5-4.
All right, Greg, it all comes down to this. He'll need hit 7 out of 10 as he misses his first. 7 out of 10 would match Devonte Graham after a first-round score of 20. Nice start, 3 of 4 from Svi.
But he's shooting deep threes.
5 of 6. He's close. 4 shots to go. A missed front iron, though.
And there you go. 2 short ones. Needs to finish strong.
This one for the tie.
Oh.
It's short-armed again. And Devonte Graham has won it. Svi goes 6 of 10. And Devonte Graham is your Shooting for the Stars champion.
No doubt the 2 old buddies will have a little trash talk session after Devonte beats his buddy Svi.
I guarantee they will, but they're all winners tonight. Big thanks to all 11 shooters that contributed. You see some of the pictures of the crews that helped us all around the country in 7 different states. Thanks most of all to you, the viewer. Thanks for texting in those donations. Again, text 333 to 202-858-1233. This has been Roundball Classic, Shooting for the Stars.